got arrested for petty theft. And so that was kind of a rude awakening for the first time, really surrendering myself to just God's will.
Last year when I married Dan, I knew that us together, we could glorify God more. If God wants to give us foster children, you know, children that come from broken homes and neglect and abuse, and they want to give them to me, hey, I'll take them.
It's great to see you. Yeah. Man, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Good to see you.
Wow.
We just didn't know quite. We envisioned kids.
When I met them years earlier, they said they wanted to be foster parents and adoptive parents and really make a difference in the world by doing that. So what happened? Here's the update with Daniel and Sarissa, and there's even more of an update after the story.
Hi there. How's it going? Good. Good. I'm Todd. I'm from a TV show called The Story Track, and we want to put you on television.
What quickly unfolded was the story of a young man just married who had recently come to terms with the double life he had been living.
But my whole life, I was kind of like a little difficult. It just, because, everyone's like kind of watching you.
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust him.
Daniel Patterson was the pastor's kid and not exactly living up to the title.
It kind of made me want to not be like that kind of person that people expected you to be.
But somewhere along the way, he chose to live a double life and to keep some things secret from his parents.
Daniel started hanging out with the wrong people and then got into trouble.
Got arrested for petty theft. And so that was kind of a rude awakening.
It was really a minor thing, but a major turning point in his life.
I was just praying, and I was actually, for the first time, really surrendering myself to just God's will.
Last year when I married Dan, I knew that us together, we could glorify God more.
Sarissa says she was going down the wrong path as well, but together they were determined to do something great.
This purpose for foster care, it's brought us this far, and we're just kind of waiting to see what God's gonna do next.
21 years old and looking to be foster parents.
If God wants to give us foster children, children that come from broken homes and neglect and abuse, and they want to give them to me, hey, I'll take them.
It's great to see you. Yeah. Man, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Good to see you.
Wow.
We just didn't know quite. We envisioned kids.
Timeline, that's what we weren't
We couldn't picture what they looked like, what they would sound like, how they would act.
So what are your names?
I'm Caitlin.
Caitlin? What? Jocelyn? All right.
My name's Taylor.
Taylor? Wow.
I'm 4.5.
4.5 years old? You are getting old. And what's your name?
I'm Tiana.
Tiana?
Mm-hmm.
That is such a beautiful name. And you're the oldest.
Alyssa.
Alyssa. How soon after I left 6 years ago did your lives change?
It was just a few months.
Yeah, it was like 2 months. And they said, we have a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old. Can you guys take? We're like, yes! Because, we had been waiting. We had 4 bedrooms, and we were so happy. That was the happiest day.
Yeah.
That was Caitlin and Alyssa. Foster care transitioned into a chance for adoption.
She's like, so what are we gonna do? I'm like, well, of course we're gonna adopt them. The whole idea is, who else are they gonna go to that's gonna love them and knows them as well as we do? Mm-hmm. So they, like you said, they're already family.
They're girls, yeah.
I couldn't imagine you coming to Better Parents.
Yeah, me neither.
What makes them so great?
My mom is really nice, and she makes great food. And my dad is just this really great guy who He likes to teach us a lot of things and do crafts with us.
So you're testing it right now, Caitlin. Is it balancing?
No.
I am now a computer tech at a elementary school. Okay, so the rest of our class, we're gonna continue on with our pod pie. It is really cool. Like, I become like this wizard when I come home because I get to bring all these projects that I've learned and taught to kids. And I get to bring them home to my girls, and they're like, what? Anyone else?
I'm doing it on my elbow.
Elbow, that's a popular one.
Daniel has another part-time job working overnights. Sarissa tried to keep working, but they decided something had to give.
Because there was appointments and therapy, and there's just so much that gets thrown at you when you first have a child come into your home. And they're all great things, but I couldn't be there for it all, and it broke my heart. And so he goes, you know, you don't have to work, honey. And I was like, really? I had always worked, and so, but we had a more important job. I had a more important job at home, and it made a huge difference.
Hey guys, dinner.
You have to push harder. There you go. Still, please.
A few years after Caitlin and Alyssa, they received another phone call. 3 sisters were in need of a home, not for foster care, but adoption.
They just said, you're not gonna believe this. I have these 3 girls, and they're looking for a home. They need a family that's willing to adopt. And she just kind of laughed. She goes, they kind of look like you. And I was like, really? And that wasn't anything we were expecting.
Can you take that to the table, please?
Suddenly, Daniel and Sarissa were parents to 5 girls.
We don't want any of our life to be wasted. And so for us, like these young kids jumping into foster care, well, that's just because we had lived so much of our life doing things that it just wasn't bringing us joy. It was getting us in trouble. And so for us, we wanted every part of our life, our young age to our old age, we always want to be constantly moving and doing things that are going to glorify God.
All right, let's say a prayer, okay? Lord, I thank you for this food, and as always, I thank you for each and every one of these girls that are a part of our family. I thank you for Mom and all the hard work she put in today.
The fact that Dan and Sarissa accelerated their family so fast, they've got the oldest grandchildren in the family, and you know, they didn't live through the 9-month pregnancy and all that stuff, and they never had to put a nursery together, you know, for the new baby. Dan and Sarissa are great parents.
Exactly what now retired Pastor Rob predicted they would be all those years ago.
It's awesome to think that some little child who is lacking a normal mother-father relationship is going to experience Sarissa as a mom and Daniel as a dad.
Jesus looked up quickly and saw what had happened. Never turn children away, he said sharply to the disciples.
If I weren't here, I wouldn't know God. I wouldn't know my 3 sisters that came here too. And they've just really taught me a lot of things that have really helped my character.
It's about that mommy jump out.
Hearing them say that they love us, that always touches me. Just because they're confirming, you're my mom.
They adopted me, but I feel like I've adopted them as my parents.
All of their girls came from traumatic situations, but Daniel and Sarissa just seemed to be blessed with exceptional parenting skills. Incredible for 20-somethings who could be grandparents in their 30-somethings.
So what's next?
More kids.
More kids? Yeah.
6 years ago, Sarissa said maybe 10. They're halfway there.
You see them together, you would think they were all kind of born together. They just, they have a special bond there, and through unfortunate circumstances, but, you know, God's made us family.
I think I asked them during that interview if they would adopt me. Of course, they said yes. Incredible parents, great kids. Now it's years past that update story, and those kids are growing up. They've grown up quite a bit. She said maybe 10 kids. They were halfway there. Well, they've more than met that goal. If it was a goal, they now have 11 kids, and those kids' lives are blessed. Let me know what you think about this story. I'm sure you've got comments. Please like it. Please share it. That helps out a lot. And subscribe if you're on YouTube, or like or follow the page if you're on Facebook.